Jimbo Paris, and you are listening to The Jimbo Paris Show. All right, how's it going, everyone? I am Jimbo Paris. Welcome to The Jimbo Paris Show. Today we have Mr. Smith, Mark Smith. He's a specialized speaker, and he has experienced a lot of different trials and tribulations. And he's here to help motivate people, train people, and give people guidance.
Good afternoon, Jimbo. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
And I'm blessed and highly favored. Good to see you today.
So, can you kind of give me a brief summary of who you are, what you're about, and what your message is?
Well, again, thank you for having me on today. I'm a humble man. I am what you see in front of you and what everybody sees in front of you is not the person that I was. And I always say I always strive to be better tomorrow than I am today. So modest upbringing, grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Great parents, mother and father. So I was fortunate to be raised. Sometimes a lot of our kids aren't raised with both parents in the home. So I was fortunate enough to have that. Both parents worked extremely hard to help provide for myself and going forward to help provide great education and good background. But I, like a lot of other kids, man, I decided at some point that I use that word, I thought I knew better. So I had made my mistakes in life, my trials and tribulations, had some consequences, actions for those consequences that I took. But again, I rose above some of those things and doing amazing things, not only in the speaking world, but right here in my city of Baltimore, Maryland today. So short, sweet, to the point. I'm sure we'll dialogue about a lot of things in detail.
That's quite interesting. Why the process?
We all go through to get through. And some people call it evolution. I call it growth. And I'll dialogue in a few minutes of what I call what my backbone or my meaning of growth is. But I wanted to create something that everybody can utilize as a blueprint, a foundation that when they do hit those times to where they don't feel that they can go any further, when they're questioning who they are and what their existence is, and when they just really need that guidance or that step, the ability to take a step back so they can grow forward. So I decided back in late 2018, 2019, that I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to listen to something that will help them move in a different direction. And I said, I've listened to a lot of speakers. I've spoke quite a bit, but I said, I want to do something different. So why not use acronyms to give somebody a message? I know playing football back when I was in high school, our coaches would bark out different things and they would use acronyms or signals or calls to make sure that we understood what we were doing. I inclined to no longer be selfish, share my life, share a vision, and share a passion to help people, as I say, Jimbo, grow forward.
What acronyms are your favorite?
Growth would probably be one of my all-time favorites. And I said growth stands for gradual reminder, obstacles will test hope. Growth. If we break down what growing means or perseverance means, it means going through different things in our lives to push us to be better than what we're truly called to be. That gradual reminder, meaning that every single day there's something in our lives or some significance in our life that reminds us where we are and should point us to where we want to go. Now, I've always said an obstacle is an opportunity, right? We just sometimes I feel sorry for ourselves and think of an obstacle as something that's going to prohibit us from getting to where we want to go. But we really need to rephrase our mind and think about that's really an opportunity. Something is coming for me that I truly need to roll with. And then the will test hope aspect of things. A lot of us, including myself, when I was younger, I didn't believe in who I was. I didn't believe that the skill level or the experience that I was going to eventually adapt would be enough. So I was always questioning what was to come. But you can never question the value of hope, because without hope, you have nothing. So you have to always remember that there will always be something that's going to test you, but you have the capability within inside you to rise above. Because I'm gonna put it quite honest, there's not a situation that any one of us that has been presented to us that we have not gotten through, right? The outcome may not have been what we wanted, but we got through it. So our track record is 100%. And I like those odds. I really like those odds based on everything that we all go through.
Now, this test, how do you test others now who follow you?
I try to be an example. I talk a lot about time, right? I talk so much, so much. Anybody who's heard me, hear me always bring up the fact that we all got the same amount, 86,400. That's the total number of seconds that we all have in a day. And you can't carry it over. You can't deposit it. You once it's done and that clock rolls over, it's done to the next day. So I challenge everybody to maximize what you do with your time. It's precious. It's something that we all need to embark. I always say that, it's priceless. Time is priceless. You can't own it, but you use it. And you can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once it's lost, you'll never get it back. So what is your task to do with that time that you have every single day? Are you going to leave somebody bitter, or are you going to leave somebody better? I challenge them to make sure that they are doing what they need to do to make everybody around them a better person. But it starts with you. It starts right there in that mirror when you first wake up and you decide, right? We control the thoughts we think, the actions we take, and the visions we see. So I challenge every single body every single day with that 86,400 to be the best you that you can be and live with no regrets, man. You can't live saying, if I would, I should, or if I should have. You got to take control of your life and make things happen.
What's the first step to taking control of your life?
Being accountable,
Hmm.
being accountable, being accountable of who you are, not passing the blame, not saying, it's such and such's fault that I'm this way. My father was an alcoholic, so I'm gonna be an alcoholic. No, 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 no. That doesn't define your story. Be accountable to where you are in your life, and then also think about where you want to go. So you need to truly be accountable for who you are and what you need to do. Secondly, you need to have integrity. Integrity, doing what you know you're supposed to do when nobody's watching. When the fact of the matter is, Jimbo, somebody's always watching us, whether we know it or not. Somebody's watching. The next step I would say would be you need to take responsibility for your life. You have that power to take responsibility for your life. It's not up to anybody else. It's up to us. And the last one is respect. Man, where is that going? Where has that gone? See, individuals can agree to disagree, but you still are owed the respect of who you are as a man and as a woman. And then you shake hands or you not shake hands. You again, as I say, you agree to disagree, and then you move on with your life. So that's how I feel that you take control of where you are to get to where you need to go. You must be accountable. You must have that integrity. You must take responsibility, and you must show some form of respect and respect yourself enough to take those steps to get to where you want to go.
Now, you mentioned challenging yourself as well.
Mhm.
Is this where we get into your belief system on growth and change and those sorts of things?
It starts with that because I saw, again, I saw so many of my friends that were incarcerated, um, passed on, um, individuals who weren't doing anything, staying stuck in the realm of what they were doing and not having the aspiration to grow. And I wanted more out of life. I just couldn't be that status quo. I mean, they look at African American men as a statistic anyway, right? They think that you're only supposed to achieve so much, and then that's where the ball stops. They look at us sometimes and say that they're doomed for, or they're destined for doom. And I wanted to help rewrite some of those things because again, I have to be. I'm responsible. I'm responsible for helping young men and young women, and I have been that way. When I played sports in high school, I was responsible to 48, 49, 50 guys every snap that I took. I was responsible to execute my job. And so that did make a difference in my life, making sure that I was taking accountability of what I was supposed to do. And again, it's all growing. It's going through your ups and going through your downs, your wins and your losses throughout everything that you do in life. But if you don't learn something from everything that you go through, man, it's not, it makes it thwarts the successes that you have. So, man, I've learned from myself, just like most everybody's listening today. I'm sure you learn more about yourself in the losses than you have in the wins, right? We forget the wins, we do some of them, but we sure the heck remember some of the losses because they taught us what some of the things that we truly needed to know to help us move to the next level.
When it comes to this, you said that you learn a lot from your losses. What were one of your biggest or one of the most educational losses you've had?
I'm going to say it was probably the loss of my father. And I say that, we all have loss in our lives, right? We're all going to lose loved ones. We're all going to lose good family, friends, and things that people that are close to us. And I say that because, I went through, and I chronicle about in 7 of my episodes inside of the process, we had a strained relationship growing up. And that relationship was strained due to my own self-absorbance and self-ignorance. And so he worked extremely hard to provide for us. But I took that I was being selfish and saying that he didn't want to have that time with me. And it went to 2003 when he was diagnosed, with 2001, and he was diagnosed with cancer, prostate cancer. And, I felt so bad. I felt, man, I wasted so many years of my life not being a good son and not trying to mend the relationship that I put the wedge through. It wasn't him. He always was there. And from that point on, I mean, we mended that. He never held any harbor feelings. We took trips together. I mean, he would at that time I was living in Arizona. He would come out to Arizona, see me. I would take him to Las Vegas. We'd have a great time. Again, we just built that relationship up. And then in 2003, on November 19th, I got a phone call that from my son to let me know that my dad had passed away. And coincidentally, Jimbo, that day that he passed away was November 19th. That's my birthday. So he passed on my birthday. And I went for so many years, man, being angry at that day. Why would God do this to me on this day? Why did this have to happen? And had not been for the blessing of a beautiful woman, my wife, who basically got me to really think about the bigger picture, not just the now, but the bigger picture of, Mark, this is the day that God took your father home, but he gave you life. You had an opportunity to rebuild a relationship with the man that you respected more than anything itself. So why wouldn't you feel rejoiced or happy on this day? Because that's exactly what this day is meant. So that would have probably been another step, or what I like to call defining moments in my life that really made me grow, man. I had to accept the fact of that loss was not a loss. That loss was a gain. He's no longer suffering. He gave me a lot of wisdom. I think a lot about some of the things that he said while he was in the basement with his friends watching the Cleveland Browns, and I was at the top of the stairs being nosy and listening. Some of the messages, some of the things that I go back and say now are results of some of the conversations that I heard. But that, man, I think that was probably one of the most challenging times, one of the most demanding times, and one of the times it really called for me to understand far beyond what I could see. That started the vision aspect of who I was going to be. Listen, I tell everybody we all have things that have gone on in our life and we have to deal with. Take a moment and find something that resonates and help you get to the next level, right? We're never called to be stagnant in life. We're all called to grow in life. So that's my message. That's what it's been predicated about. But also with my signature tagline, Jimbo, I always tell individuals that your why is greater than your situation, which is part of your process.
Excellent, excellent. And this has been a great talk, a great interview. Do you have any additional words you want to say to the audience? Any final words?
Yeah, I do. Believe in yourself, right? There's an old adage that says nobody believes in you but you. You have to be the one that thwarts what society thinks of you, thwarts what sometimes your friends think of you, but believe in who you are. You are you individually, your purpose. You're created different. You're designed to be different. You're designed to take things to the next level. Embrace who you are and live life the very best that you can every single day with no regrets.
Excellent. Thank you again, Mr. Smith. It's been a
Thank,
pleasure.
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So now we're going to drop some exclusive sponsors. Thanks again. So first sponsor is Six Figure University. One person's a barbershop, well, a salon owner. The other person is an engineer, and they both work together to help people with real estates and building their own salons. Very successful group of women. LifeWork Systems. So this is basically owned by a very successful woman as well. She's an affiliate partner and collaborative partner with us, and she basically helps other businesses as a super HR specialist, transforming the work environment and making it more positive and even better. And also, we have a new website, and you could check us out on our Roku channel. Everything that we play now is going to be on Roku TV, so check us out there. All right, I'm Jimbo Paris. This is the Jimbo Paris Show. Thank you again, Mr. Smith. And I'm going out now. Thank you for listening to the Jimbo Paris Show.